Without further ado, we'll move to our first category of young ones. Taking bronze in the young bloods, Lucas Swanson. Taking silver in the young bloods, Lucas Anderson. And our gold in young bloods, Evan Krumov. Youngbloods competition was incredible this year. Several of you came up to mention it. There were several of the Youngbloods trophies you just saw that would have potentially trophied even outside of the Youngbloods category in many Golden Demon years. So it was a pretty incredible competition, and I can't wait to see what they do in future years, AdeptiCon and elsewhere. It takes us into the small scale category. Our bronze and small scale samurais. No semblance. That's yours? I love when that happens. So we'll hold off on that one, we'll double check it at the end. Just keep your heart beating around. Stu and Pete, you want to QC the small scale bronze while we go through the rest of the competition? That's the model? My apologies for not having a Warhammer shirt. Getting all of the images in there in time prevented my ability to go change and apparently get that name right, so my apologies. I'm hoping that doesn't happen again, but if it does, I hope you'll all roll with me as well as you all did just now. Our silver and small scale here in Cole. Finally, our gold for Colin Eidenschink. That now takes us to our dual category. Once again, an incredible category. And I'm going to resist the urge to tell you how amazing each category was because I will quickly become a broken record with how the competition was this year. Our bronze in duel is to Federico Rodriguez. Our silver goes to Eric McCarthy. And our gold goes to Sergio. Nobody should injure themselves, but we love the celebrations, so feel free to follow suit, but go within your own capabilities. Oh, careful. The next category is diorama, and I'll very quickly go to our bronze, Piotr Czajka. Our silver goes to Oscar Lars. And our diorama gold goes to Benjamin. darnest and darkest moment of that millennium and head to Middle-earth. And winning bronze, Alexis Lagunia. Silver goes to Alexandre dos Santos.
Yeah!
And our Middle-earth gold goes to Andy. Next is the ever-impressive Age of Sigmar large model. This was one of the tougher ones. The judges spent a great deal of time agonizing over this category. Not that they didn't spend a bunch of time on everyone, but in particular, I recall the contentiousness of trying to sort and rank these finishers. In bronze, we have Raphael. In silver, we have Katarzyna Gosia.
Yeah!
And by a few godly hairs in gold, Colin. These awards are kind of like the verses in an Irish traditional folk song. There's a lot of them. And if you enjoy that kind of thing, you've got plenty to go. Age of Sigmar unit. Our first for bronze goes to John Margiotta. I'm glad I've practiced my German over the years because once again in silver we have Colin the Eidenschink. We'll get you to your extra trophies, Colin. And finally, in gold, Michael Whitton. This next one takes us to a category that was very time-consuming to judge. Age of Sigmar single model. Our bronze goes to Piotr. In this category in particular, several of the trophies would have probably won several other categories. Extremely fierce competition. And our silver goes to Todd and Swanson. And taking gold in Age of Sigmar single model. Moving to the 41st millennium. With large model, our bronze goes to Adrian Pech. I'd like to remind you all that judging is blind, so well earned, not a bachelor gift. Our silver is Stanley. gold is LK. Next up, Warhammer 40,000 vehicles. By the way, one of the most interesting categories to figure out where the miniatures belong is the 40K vehicle versus large model category. I want to give the staff another shout out. We don't just look at the models once they're submitted, we also constantly check to make sure that we've got all the miniatures in the correct categories all weekend, so that all the judging is done correctly and perfectly. This team in particular were relentless at making sure we didn't accidentally miscategorize a miniature, etc. And our bronze in Warhammer 40,000 vehicle goes to Steve Garcia. Moving up to silver, we have Colin Eidenschink. Congratulate you all on maintaining the same enthusiasm for Colin every time.
Love you, Colin!
And finally, our gold, Ivan Bocic. Takes us to the penultimate Warhammer 40,000 category of squad. Winning bronze, we have John Carter.
First time. Yeah! John!
In silver, we have Mohamed Ait-Mehdi. And taking golden squad, Nikolas Mortensen. I think we're starting to run low on certain colors of trophies. All right, finally, Warhammer 40,000 single model. Another tough competition. The single model category always is fierce in both ages of Sigmar and over 40,000. And certainly the same this year. Taking bronze was James Taro. I don't know how. That makes my job. Thank you. Silver, Alexandre Santos. Taking gold in Warhammer 40,000 single miniature, Hollis.
Let's go!
The last category we have is the open competition, but before we go through it, I'm also going to ask you guys to give a round of applause, not to any of us, but to the entire community, because without you, none of this would matter. Warhammer is a hobby about miniatures. Miniatures are the heart and soul of it. I personally think it's a misnomer because all of you are the heart and soul of Warhammer. miniatures wouldn't matter without us, and without you. So, before we get into the final competitions, I'd like you all to give a huge round of applause to yourselves for the community that you are. We do the open competition last because it's the one that Games Workshop staff can compete in, and it's sort of for odds and ends miniatures that don't quite fit into other categories, so it's quite an interesting one. It also takes any miniatures that someone cannot submit as a second miniature to another more hotly contested entry, so there's all sorts of interesting miniatures that came in close in this one. There were a lot of commended entries in it, and a lot of especially highly commended entries. Our winners, though, starting with bronze, goes to Eric Swanson.
Yeah!
Our silver goes to Hollis. And finally, our gold goes to Stanley.
Yeah!
So a couple quick reminders here. Landing the Slayer Sword silent moment is challenging. Some of you will not want to land. Oh, that's not true, just in case. The first thing we're going to do, though, and don't give them a round of applause until they're all up there. I'll give you the cue. I'd like all of our gold winners to come on up together for a group shot and for a round of applause. But hold that round of applause so they're all up. While they come up, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Slayer Sword this year. We wanted to take it up a notch in terms of the quality of the sword itself. It is a legendary competition after all. For anyone that doesn't know, Army Studios or Man at Arms, the famous History Channel show, is headed up by a blacksmith of quite many millions and millions of viewers of fame. His famous YouTube channel has had a History Channel show. But before I finish that, why don't we give a huge round of applause to our gold champions. So again, all of you stay right there. All of you are champions. One of you is about to win Slayer Sword Forged by one of the world's most famous blacksmiths. When you hold it up, do please hold it by the hilt in your left hand. You'll put the gauntlet on your right hand because it is, the golden demon will be upside down if you didn't know. So once we announce this person, I'd like you to all remain completely silent. The only person that can cue your applause is the winner themselves when they hoist the sword aloft. They're going to come over here. It's going to be perfectly awkward. Their heart's going to be beating, mine probably too. They're going to put on a metal gauntlet, which will take them a second. They're going to retrieve the sword from Eddie, and yes, I do appreciate some theatricality, so go with me on this. And then they're going to escalate to the center of the stage. And with whatever aplomb and drama they want to conjure up, but without a speech, they'll lift the sword aloft, and I expect you all to send this entire convention center roaring. Also, it's just going to be really fun. We all get to be part of it. So, the final category, our Slayer Sword winner. It was the hardest decision these guys have ever made. Goes to Hollis. Well done, everyone. Great job. All right. I've already said my thanks. We've seen all the winners. Nothing could be better than that as a finish. So I bid you all adieu and a wonderful AdeptiCon, and I hope to see you again next year.